UFC Vegas 85 just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. I'll start with the first fight of the night and then work my way up to the main event. If you guys haven't, make sure you smash the likes, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe to give you a little early access if you haven't seen it. I think it was a pretty damn underwhelming card. Definitely the worst card so far of 2024. Granted, we've only had 3 events. We do have 10 weeks in a row of UFC. I definitely am expecting better as we get those weeks rolling. Let's talk about the first fight of the night. It was Jamal Pogues and Thomas Petersen. Petersen got outboxed for the most part and couldn't get at the legs and wrestle Jamal Pogues outside from one single exchange in the first round where he ended up on top at the end of the round. But he was getting boxed up from the outside. Pogues, the better striker, landed cleaner, lightly rocked Petersen a few times, but nothing that is, close to finishing about. Good accumulation of damage for Pogues, and he got himself a clean W, sending Petersen back. It doesn't jump the stock of Pogues a ton, but it does keep him as a UFC, mid or lower tier heavyweight, to be real. Rankings probably out of the picture, but back end of the ranked guys, prospects on the come up. Pogues is an interesting threat. He's pretty quick from the outside, and if you can't take him down, you're dealing with somebody who's competent in the striking. And Petersen, he had, his typical wrestling pressure, but he was just unsuccessful on the vast majority of takedown attempts, and he has pretty mid-tier stand-up right now. He has power somewhat, but more of like a puncher's chance power. Doesn't have crisp boxing. Mostly is closing the gap, looking to wrestle, and winging hands out there. He touched Pogues a few times, but not enough to, keep him off. Really wasn't much damage done, period. And I think Petersen really has to work on evolving the striking with the wrestling. The wrestling's certainly there, but the fact that he's not able to take down a Jamal Pogues, there'd be concern moving up in the ranks. He's definitely kept back. Ultimate Fighter, or rather Contender Series signing, not the Ultimate Fighter. I think that Petersen is fighting somebody debuting next time out. Expect him to potentially be a dog against an exciting prospect. I don't know, man. It was underwhelming on both fronts. Pogues got the win, but for Petersen, where we thought his potential might have laid, definitely is lower than we thought. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Marquel Mederos versus Landon Quiñones. This one was pretty damn close. At the end of it on stream, I said either way. I said coin flip it. I said, you know what? I'm giving Quiñones a split decision. It didn't go that way. Quiñones ended up losing a close one on the cards. I can see why Mederos got it for some decent exchanges where maybe he got slightly the better of Landon. But, I'm not lying to you guys, man. Tit for tat type of fight. There really wasn't a clear winner at the end of it. Marquel Mederos sits in the pocket a little bit too much for my liking. Landon Quiñones couldn't really make him pay as far as any significant, real hard strikes went. Neither guy was, seriously hurt in this fight. To me, this seemed like a prospect fight of guys, in the LFA or somebody fighting on the Ultimate Fighter. Quiñones, obviously a veteran, a tough. Mederos coming off Contender Series. This, to me, just didn't feel like a super high-tier fight. Now, yes, I understand they're both under 30. They're prospects in the sport nonetheless. But I worry about the killers going forward that Mederos is going to end up facing off with. I don't know. I think the ceiling might be lower than I thought. I will say I was underwhelmed and disappointed with this fight more so because all week I kind of been hyping Marquel Mederos' stand-up game a lot. I thought he was pretty damn slick, and it's not that he's bad. He's good from the outside, but he struggled a lot more with pressure and inside fighting than I anticipated. I thought he would have better management of the distance, like keeping off Quiñones and keeping that spread between them and then landing his kicks and shots. When he was at range, he did well, but both of these guys kind of crowded each other's strikes a lot, which very common, in the lower levels. And right now, they're both towards the bottom tier of lightweight. I don't think you can move Marquel up too fast. Potential is there nonetheless. He is 27, young guy. Improvements can be made vastly between fights, as with Quiñones. But yeah, I was disappointed. I don't know. I thought I would have saw that thing. I was like, okay, Mederos is going to rip him apart. But I think that I overrated his stand-up, and maybe Isakov, who he beat on Contender, was not nearly as good as I thought. Let's keep running up. Next fight. Luana Carolina, Julia Stoliarenko. I almost turned off the TV during this one. I guess it wasn't that bad. I'm kind of being an asshole, but it wasn't a good fight. Stoliarenko was clinching, hugging, and looking for takedowns. Carolina trying to strike. Stoliarenko ends up pulling guard, and I'm sitting there. And I'm like, no, please. Modern MMA pulling guard, rarely effective. Granted, there's slightly a claim for it to be effective later on in this card. We'll talk about that soon. But, like, this was a mid-fight. It was bad. It was bad. Stoliarenko has horrible stand-up. I know she did Lethway, but the striking's not impressive. Carolina's athletic and hard to take down. She was able to ground and pound out Stoliarenko, who pretty much gassed after a triangle armbar attempt in the third round. It was horrendous, man. I want to skip past. Like, I don't even... What else can I say here? It was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. It didn't seem like a UFC caliber fight. Carolina got a third-round finish win, sure. But it didn't seem UFC caliber at all. Stoliarenko, I think, might be looking at walking papers. I know she had an emphatic armbar against Molly Meatballs, but I'm going to stand on the hill that was kind of lucky. And she looked bad against Luana Carolina. Next fight on the card. Jeong Lee, Blake Bilder. Jeong Lee beat up Blake Bilder. He exposed Bilder. Bilder's actually kind of slow with his striking. I thought he'd be a little faster than that. It was bad. Could be the age hitting him at 33. I know it's not old, right? But primed fighter at 28 versus 33. There was a clear difference in power, too, between these two. And Bilder, who's supposed to be nastier on the ground, was getting out grappled. Lee put it on him. He touched him up with good shots. He rocked him on multiple occasions. Bilder has heart for sure, but he just doesn't have that much explosiveness and doesn't have a, tremendous striking game on the inside, and he had a hard time landing. His accuracy was off. He lost every moment pretty much. He lost majority of the fight. Couldn't land takedowns, even got taken down himself. Blake Bilder lost, or rather beat, Shane Yeong. Shane Yeong lost to Blake Bilder, so it's like, where's Blake Bilder in the rankings, Shane Yeong? Shit, man. City kickboxing guy. I'm not trying to trash Shane Yeong. Sorry, Shane. Sorry, we're fucking around over here. I'm going a little bit too hard on you. But yeah, Lee looked good. He's a good prospect. Nice win for him. I'm keep moving up, man. Next fight on the card, Themba Gorimbo, Pete Rodriguez. To be honest, I don't even want to talk about this. I don't know if Pete Rodriguez took a dive or something. One overhand and he dropped. Now, obviously, I know he didn't take a dive. I'm fucking around. I don't think he took a dive. It looked like a clean overhand. I thought Pete Rodriguez had a chance, guys, and I'm going to die on this hill and tell you straight, if you haven't seen the predictions earlier this week, don't watch them. They were bad. We'll talk about it at the end. But I tried to underdog lock Pete Rodriguez, and it was the worst pick of all time. Worst pick of all time. He got destroyed in one punch by Themba Gorimbo. So, good shit for Gorimbo, and he's getting some clout with The Rock giving him that house. God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, Charles Johnson, Azat Maksum. Johnson exposed Azat Maksum. It was blowing my mind how easy in the third round Charles Johnson was switching up positions on him. Like, it was kind of freaking me out a little bit. I didn't understand what was happening. I was kind of mesmerized. Not that I didn't understand. I know the positions. Not a moron. But, like, what the fuck? Maksum looked horrible. I mean, in the first round, he looked like a savage. And then in the second and the third, he looked below average. And Johnson snaps his losing streak and remains on the UFC roster. Any anticipation and hype for Azat's gone, bro. Borat will not be featuring him in the trilogy. And that was what was on the line here. There was a ton at stake. I thought he would follow in Shavkat's footsteps. Instead, he loses his first pro fight. He's like, fucking keep bumping into shit and dropping stuff over here. Fuck, man. I'm bitchy about this fight, man. Because Azat Maksum looked like a killer in the first round, and it just looked terrible thereafter. But Charles Johnson deserves credit. The dude's incredibly durable. He fought out of deep submission attempts. He even nearly got a submission himself. He's a G. So, respect Energy Johnson, who wants to fight soon, man. He wants to get back in there. Next fight on the card was our featured prelim, Molly McCann and Diana Belbiţă 2. rematch where Molly Meatballs submitted Belbiţă and broke her arm. We didn't expect Molly Meatballs to get an armbar. Somehow after Stoliarenko subbed her up, her jiu-jitsu looks better than ever. Now she dropped to 115, and boy, was that a good move or what? Because Molly McCann looked better than I've ever seen her. She was shredded with abs. She still had power. She was explosive, fast, strong, and dominant. She bullied Diana Belbiţă from start to finish, and this is one of those rematches where it's like, damn, this destroys Belbiţă's confidence. Belbiţă also moves to 2-6 in the UFC, guys. For Molly Meatballs, big fight coming. Let's do it in England next time. She's moving up the ranks at 115. I like her a lot better here than Women's Fly. She's too short for Women's Fly. Next fight was our main card opener, and Charles Radtke exposed Gilbert Urbina's lack of head movement. Holy shit, the left hook was beautiful. Multiple left hooks were landing. It was constant. Urbina couldn't get out of the way of that left hook. He's got a tendency to get caught by left hooks. Something to note, Radtke, pre-fight, I was talking about the fact that he may or may not have fucked up a former UFC champ in sparring. Oh, he definitely did. Radtke's a lot better than what we saw against Blood Diamond. Destroyed Urbina. Sick performance for Radtke as a dog. And, yeah, I like him, man. He talks his shit. He's smooth. Tough welterweight. Powerful, too. Jacked, powerful, strong grappling, strong striking. Destroyed Urbina, man. Like, it was brutal the way he destroyed Urbina. Next fight on the card, Aliasab, Khizriev, Makhmud, Muradov. This is when I knew this card was cursed. When an eye poke stopped this fight 11 seconds in. Khizriev's hands reach out. He claws the eye of Muradov. I believe he caught him with a thumb. And Muradov's eye then started twitching and swelling up. They had to stop it. It was done. Khizriev, he's got to get turned around quick. I mean, one of these Apex cards will need a middleweight. I'm pretty sure they'll give him a call soon. For Muradov, though, hope that eye's okay, man. Definitely a scratch cornea. It seems like that's the, that's the thought. That's the diagnosis, at least from what we saw from the cage side physician. Is what it is. Unfortunate for Khizriev. Unfortunate for Muradov. Both of them. Unfortunate for both fighters. Natalia Silva beat Viviane Araujo. Clean win for her, but not without being tested a bit. Araujo was strong inside. She gave her some difficulty in the clinch, backed her up a little bit, made it tricky, but Silva's striking was fast. Her movement was on point, and she looks like a quality contender. It's interesting, right? Because you look at this women's flyweight division. You got Grasso, you got Shevchenko, now you got Furo Blanchfield facing off. Natalia Silva is creeping towards that top caliber. Caitlin Chukagan maybe be somebody that she fights next, or even the Hibas Rose Namajunas winner could be interesting for Natalia Silva, especially, both of those girls with pretty good names in women's MMA. I think Silva's a great prospect on the come up. I really do think that. She has great movement. It was her birthday. She got a W. She was happy as hell, and she deserved the win at the end of this thing. Next fight on the card, Randy Brown, Muslim Salikhov. Oh my gosh. Randy Brown ended Muslim Salikhov's UFC career. I'm telling you, it's done. Salikhov is retiring after this one. He got flatline KO'd by Randy Brown with a beautiful straight shot, and Brown's boxing looked better than ever before. He got touched up a little bit with leg kicks, but not enough damage done by Salikhov. Brown chins him, calls out Michael Chiesa after, I guess, during an ESPN interview. Chiesa was working the desk. I'm thumbs up in that fight. That's what I want next. Randy Brown should be able to fight somebody to that level. He got sacrificed against Jack Della. He just destroyed Salikhov. We're giving him Michael Chiesa next, 100%. Good shit for Brown. Next fight was our co-main. Renato Moicano, Drew Dober. Moicano wants money, motherfucker. Drew Dober. Yeah, Moicano looks sick. Honestly, he was getting shit on in my live stream comments, but you guys were judging him too harshly, okay? Drew Dober is a powerhouse, and Dober rocked Moicano in the first round. Moicano then found grappling success and did work from top position. He continued with some grappling success throughout the fight, and that's how he secured the win in the third round. Second round, though, Dober ended up doing an absolutely beautiful roll to end up on top of Moicano, which I thought was epic. Money Moicano's grappling was too much late, though, because Dober tries this roll again, and this time falls to his back, and Moicano gets on top of him and finishes the fight in top position. Money Moicano, with quality jiu-jitsu attack and pressure, took out a fan favorite and heavy-handed Drew Dober. And even though Moicano's performance maybe wasn't the best we've seen of him, but he's been out for a while. He was out like a year and a half. He had an injury he was dealing with. He talked his shit afterwards. On the microphone, Moicano dropped tremendous barbs, absolutely showed his personality, shouted out his YouTube, which I think he needs to, get some more subs on. I think he's gained at least like 2,000 last time I looked. Then he also called out MMA Guru after for picking against him. I thought that was funny as hell. I have been trying to collab with Moicano for a while. He follows me on the gram. He subscribes to the channel as I follow him and subscribe to him. So because of my Moicano pick, not only that, I think because of the potential for an epic collab, Money Moicano, if you're watching this, let's collab it up. 2024, let's make it happen. Come on a live stream. It can be a member stream, whatever you want. Come on and chat it up with me and my people. We want to chat it up with Money Moicano. He deserves a ton of respect, though, for grinding out a win over Dober. Yeah, he came back from a heart injury. Wasn't the scintillating finish maybe that he would have wanted, but a win against one of the most heavy-handed lightweights in the world. Good performance by Money Moicano, man. And sick Team USA call out after, saying he wants to be a SWAT team officer following fighting, and absolutely love his love for America, bro. So let's fucking go. USA, baby. Let's go. Main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. So was this a fight that should have been a draw? Because one judge scored it 47-47. And I'm sorry, that's delusional to me. Nasruddin Imavov clearly won this fight. There's no argument there. Dolidze with a lot of control in the clinch, but he wasn't doing anything. Herb Dean was separating them for the most part. The strike stats were crazy lopsided. The damage that was being worn by Dolidze, as opposed to Imavov, was non-existent of a fight to looking like he went 10 rounds. Imavov rocked Dolidze, nearly finished him in the first round, clear 10-8. I thought he won the majority of rounds thereafter. I thought you could have gave him every damn round. So the illegal kick that landed, I still thought Imavov at the end did enough to win the round, so it could have been 9-9, but probably most judges will end up scoring that a 10-8 round, favoring Dolidze. So 49-45 then? Or 48-45, I should say. I think that's what we were looking at. I believe that was the scorecard, 48-45. 47-47 is untrue. You can't see it that way. Imavov clearly won more rounds here. He clearly won the fight. I scored him the winner at the end. I believe 48-45. Or even, 49-44. 49-44 is not crazy. Imavov outstruck him clearly, evaded the grappling onslaught. Now, Dolidze had some sick attempts. When he started rolling for knee bars and shit, I was like, you should have done that all night, Dolidze. Because that's his game, getting it to the ground. The stand-up of Dolidze is powerful, but not technical at all. And he doesn't have great accuracy either. Imavov was patient, technical, and clean with his stand-up. Almost gets into a fight with Chris Curtis. Herb Dean threatening to disqualify him after that illegal head strike landed, the kick. Because Dolidze's playing the game, hand on the ground, and then Imavov kicked him in the head. Let's just eliminate this stupid rule. Knees are on the ground or some form of your body's on the ground. Okay, you can't kick him in the head. Hand on the ground, we're playing a game. We're playing a game. That's not a fight. That's a game. And we want to keep it fighting. So I vote to remove the hand down rule so we can get some more savage knockouts. Because that position then becomes so much more dominant because you're either getting kicked in the face or you're going to your knees and your opponent's on top of you now. That's more realistic of what a fight would be. So I'm all in to change that rule set. Imavov with a sick win. I predicted a decision. It came to fruition. It was a perfect call. And I'm happy that I finished with a perfect call in the main event, which otherwise was a rocky card, picks-wise. Now for Imavov, a Chris Curtis rematch is on the horizon. The winner of Pyfer Hermanson could be something. He's in an interesting spot right now because I feel like he's on the cusp of breaking into the higher tier contendership. Brendan Allen, Vittori winners also on the table. I don't know, man. Maybe him and Curtis got to squash the beef, though. I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. But after a main event win, Curtis coming off a W, but on a main card in what was pretty competitive fashion with Burial, who's not ranked. Imavov probably deserves something bigger. We shall see, though. Nonetheless, Imavov with a sick W, and I'm happy that he went out there and put it on the line. Now, picks-wise, 5 wins, 7 losses, 1 no contest. Terrible pick-wise. Terrible rate, all right? I lost in the first fight of the night. I had Petersen. I won with Mederos, lost with Stoliarenko, lost with Bilder, lost with Pete Rodriguez. Horrible lock. I did a punishment on stream, a ripskis and a fucking shadow box off to, give it back to the people. That one was rough. Lost with Maksum, who we thought had a clear win. Win with Molly Meatballs. Lost with Urbina. No contest with Khizriev. Win with Silva. Lost with Salikhov, which was a delusional pick at this point. And Hanato Moicano win. Nasruddin Imavov win. So 5-7-1. It's like 5-7 2 weeks in a row. That's terrible. I got to heat my record up this year, man. I'm turning it on. Now, for these picks, I did it without ripskis. If you follow the channel, you know what I mean. It was sober Sally during all these picks. And we're going to compare the sober to the little bit enhanced picks, the secret sauce. I'm taking that secret sauce again. Those ripskis are going to stay coming because I think I pick them better compared to the sober self. Guys, nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the week's worth of content. I hope you enjoyed this recap show. I hope you enjoyed my fight companion. I think the UFC needs to consider limiting the fucking Apex cards because they are an easy excuse to put underwhelming events together that don't deliver. And as fans sitting at home, I'm pissed. Like, I'm going to watch all of it, every damn card. This is what I do. And a lot of you are doing the exact same. But I don't think it's fair to us to have these underwhelming cards. I'm hoping next week's better at Vegas 86. Thank goodness after that, we got pay-per-view and then Mexico City because I need crowds in attendance. There's so many Apex cards this year already incoming. And I want, as a fan, to see fans enjoying the action there because the fans are what make this damn sport. Yeah, I should do a rant video on getting rid of the Apex and how it's ruining the UFC. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. I think that's something in the works for me. Much love, everybody. Big W's in chat if you enjoyed. And thank you all for supporting. I got the content schedule for this coming UFC Vegas 86 fight week in the description. Live streams every day. Content every day. You don't want to miss it. So if you're new, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. Make sure to share the video as well. If you're a member, we got the members-only streams, which are absolutely sick. Bringing people on, chatting it up. And also the Ultimate Push-Up Championship 2. We got Latrell Spencer defending his title against KZ this coming Thursday. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys all for supporting and showing love. I hope you enjoyed the video. Much love, people. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.